If you're thinking about moving to Oregon, you might be feeling a bit lost and overwhelmed about where to actually buy a house. Oregon is a pretty big state, and trust me, each region has its own very unique vibe. You might be envisioning yourself walking on rugged beaches, or maybe you're just looking for something greener and filled with day drinking at your local vineyard down the road. I'm going to give you the insider's scoop on what each area is really like, which cities and towns are popular, and what draws my clients to each region. My name is Clarity Odd, and I'm an active real estate agent who focuses on helping buyers relocate to Oregon. If you are ready to start planning your move to Oregon, book a one-on-one consultation with me by using the links down in the description below. Okie dokie, let's jump right in. The first region that we are talking about is the Oregon coast, which stretches all the way from the northern tip of Oregon bordering Washington all the way down where California and Oregon meet. This whole area is the Pacific Ocean. The Oregon coast is one of the places that feels like it is just so special. It is rugged and wild, and it really will take your breath away. We're talking jagged cliffs, rocky beaches, sandy stretches, and thick, misty forests that go right up to the shoreline. Life here has a much slower pace, which is perfect if you're looking to relax, breathe in some salty air, and just really live more in sync with nature. And if you're like a lot of my YouTube clients who are coming from a bigger city, you are going to notice a huge shift in lifestyle. People on the Oregon coast, they embrace the simpler, just more quiet way of living, with a lot of time walking on those gorgeous beaches. They like to go to community gatherings and just being outside, exploring the gorgeous, misty, beautiful, rugged, jagged cliffs that are all around them. For specific towns, you have some really charming options. One of the most popular ones with my clients is Newport Beach, which is located right here. And Newport strikes a really nice balance between smaller coastal town while not feeling like you are just completely cut off from it all. Plus, it's only about an hour and a half away from Salem, which is like the next biggest city, so you're not too far from services and shopping. On the northern tip of the Oregon coast here is Astoria, and this is just going to be a short drive from Washington State too. Astoria has a very quirky, artsy vibe and a shit ton of cool history. It's the coastal town with the most Victorian style homes, and personally it is one of my favorite spots to vacation because of all of its just amazing, cute charm. It's one of those places where every time I vacation there, I'm like, oh my god, I think I need to buy a house here. Like, I'm not in Astoria all that often, but without fail, I want to buy a house there when I go there because it's just so cute. And the houses, if you love character homes, oh my god, you are just gonna swoon when you see what they've got there. Another popular town is gonna be Lincoln City, which is known for its beachy summer vibes and events. Lincoln City is a really good choice if you're after a really lively beach town that draws in tourists during the summertime. Now, it's personally not my favorite place, but I totally get why people gravitate towards it. It is tourism focused, which means that it brings certain amenities that you're not really gonna find in other small beach towns. And of course, like anywhere, the Oregon coast has its pros and cons. The views are just unbeatable. There's a really great calm that just kind of palpates over every place you go to, and you have really easy access to hiking, fishing, beachcombing, and if you're like me, tide pooling. But the weather, it can be so unpredictable. Expect fog, rain, cool temperatures more often than sunny, beachy days. And since these towns are smaller, the nightlife and shopping, they are going to be limited too. So you are going to be trading off like the hustle and bustle of a bigger place for a very, very peaceful vibe. Now, I don't want to scare you with this next one, but something you need to consider about relocating to the coast is that we are on the Cascadia fault line, which means at some point we are going to experience an earthquake that is going to cause a big tsunami. You are going to see tsunami evacuation signs everywhere, and it's not like a question of if we'll get a tsunami and an earthquake, it is when. From what I've seen though, that doesn't seem to be a big deterrent for a lot of people who are interested in moving to the coast. Some people You know, they just take it day by day. The coast is going to be perfect for ocean lovers who really want small town feel and you don't mind the rain. If you are looking for a fresh start and moving away from the stresses of the city life, the Oregon coast is great. This is especially true for my clients who are ready to retire, from my work from home clients, and just anyone who is like, yo, I need to slow down in life and I need to just be by myself for a bit. Those people do really well on the Oregon coast. The next region on our list is the Willamette Valley, which is located right here between the Cascade Mountain Range to the east, and then we've got the little coastal range to the west. And in between this area is a slice of heaven called the Willamette Valley. The valley is like Oregon's heartbeat. It has a really great mix of charm and small city conveniences, plus just like these amazing rolling hills covered in flowers and vineyards and just hops, like anything that you could ever imagine growing, we grow it out here. People even travel to the Willamette Valley during our spring and summertime to just take photos of the rolling hills. That is how gorgeous it is. Now, the Willamette Valley strikes a dang good balance between quiet rural living, but you're still close to enough amenities to keep things a little bit interesting without feeling too isolated and remote. And best of all, you are close to big city activities if you truly want them, depending on where, of course, you're buying a house. Some of the popular spots that my clients are moving to in the Willamette Valley include Portland, Salem, and Eugene. And if you're looking for a big city vibe, Portland is the largest city in Oregon, and it is where you are going to find the most action going on. I grew up in Portland. It is cool, it is funky, and it's a place that keeps growing and evolving into something really unique and cool. Just an hour south of Portland is Salem, which is where I currently live. And Salem is Oregon's capital with a population of 200,000 people. So it's about a third of the size of Portland. But for me, that translates to it feeling less hectic and just more manageable. Plus, it's more affordable than Portland and it has less traffic. You can drive to Portland for a taste of the big city, then come right back down to the calmer place of Salem. And you know what? Speaking of, this Friday when this video comes out, I'm going to be going up to Portland with my husband, going to see David Sedaris at his talk at the Downtown Theater, which I can't remember the name of. I am so excited though. He is the funniest author. Anyways, my point is, you can go up to Portland easily and then come back down to Salem. Like, it's no big deal. Salem isn't for everyone, I'll admit it. But if Salem sounds like a cool place for you, I have so many videos all about what it's like living in Salem on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out. The last popular town is Eugene, which is at the southern tip of the Willamette Valley, and it is similar in size to Salem, but it feels a lot younger and artsy, and that's because Eugene is a university town. It is home to the University of Oregon, which brings a really vibrant and progressive energy to the city of Eugene. If you don't mind being a little bit further away from Portland and you're looking for more of an artsy vibe and educational scene, then Eugene could be a really good fit. But just know that the cost of living and real estate in Eugene is going to be a bit higher than Salem. But a lot of people think that that price tag is well worth it. Living in the Willamette Valley also comes with its own fair share of pros and cons. But on the plus side, you are going to be surrounded by lush greenery and wine country. You got rivers and hiking trails everywhere around you. We have a more mild climate, and the valley is so fertile that it's great for growing everything. So you're going to find a lot of farmers markets, fresh produce, hobby farms, and just a really great sense of agriculture being woven into our fabric. And if you like music festivals and art fairs, you are just going to love the valley because it has plenty of both. The valley's growing fast though. So places like Salem and Eugene, they're not going to stay hidden gems for long. The Willamette Valley is perfect if you are wanting a high quality life without the intensity of a big city. And yes, Portland is technically part of the valley, but there are so many amazing towns that are here in the valley that people are just starting to notice when they relocate to Oregon. In short, if you are wanting a well-rounded lifestyle with easy access to outdoors and a lot of community events, well then the Willamette Valley is likely going to be the perfect place for you. It's welcoming, it's fulfilling, and it offers a slower pace of life that a lot of people are really jonesing for. The next region is Southern Oregon, which is located right here and includes cities like Medford, Ashland, Grants Pass, and Roseburg. Southern Oregon has a very distinct vibe with a huge emphasis on being outdoors, a very, very laid-back lifestyle, and, quite frankly, a lower price tag than up north. Compared to the busier parts of Oregon, Southern Oregon is super relaxed, super outdoorsy, and it has a very strong focus on just being, well, slower. So if you are drawn to a quieter lifestyle with a lot of natural beauty, Southern Oregon might be a great fit for you. Ashland, Medford, Grants Pass, those are some of the best known towns here, but they are all so incredibly unique and distinct. Ashland is famous for the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. It's got a really great art scene, a lot of good restaurants, great antiques, and cozy boutiques and shops. And this is by far the most popular town in Southern Oregon for my clients. And Ashland is very similar to Portland in many ways. And personally, Ashland is where I would relocate to as a Portland weirdo if I had to move to Southern Oregon. Medford is going to be just north of Ashland, and it is the biggest city in Southern Oregon. So that means you have more shopping, more medical services, but it still is a small town. Grants Pass is right on the Rogue River and has a very rugged outdoorsy charm, and that's why people like Grants Pass. It is also home of Dutch Bros Coffee. So if you like Dutch Bros, why not move to Grants Pass where it originated? The biggest draw for my clients who are interested in Southern Oregon is affordability. Home prices are generally lower than the northern parts of the state, although some may still consider it relatively high, especially if you're looking towards places like Ashland, where really you need to expect to spend $700,000 or more to live in a desirable spot of the town with a really cute, desirable house. So I guess the point of affordability is kind of relative at this moment. In Southern Oregon, you've got the Rogue River, Crater Lake, and there is no shortage of hiking spots, fishing, and just places to be outside. It is very easy to see why people settle in here when they want a more outdoorsy, relaxed lifestyle. But like every place, Southern Oregon does come with some trade-offs. It is further from urban centers, so you are not going to have quick and easy access to a place like Portland or the Portland International Airport for those Mexico beach vacations. The weather also is going to be a little bit more extreme here, where summers are going to be hotter than some areas in Oregon, and it is going to be prone to more wildfires in the summertime. The other unique thing about Southern Oregon, very specifically Medford, is that the smoke that comes in from those wildfires, it just stays in Medford. Like, there's no wind in Medford in the summertime, and so you just get like this glob of smoke that just sits there. It's kind of terrible. But if you don't mind, Medford might be a great spot. A lot of my clients are very specifically interested in Southern Oregon because they're excited about the arts, the natural beauty, and just the low-key lifestyle of Southern Oregon and places like Ashland. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Central Oregon. Now, this region centers around the largest city of Bend, but you're also going to find places like Redmond, Sisters, and Prineville. Central Oregon is located east of the Cascade Mountains, and it has a very unique high desert landscape that really sets it apart from all of the other places on this list. Think super sunny skies, dry air, and plenty of opportunity to get out year-round. Bend is hands down the most popular spot for my clients who are relocating to Central Oregon, and it is easy to see why, because it has an incredibly relaxed vibe. You are, of course, surrounded by so much nature, and you have a really cute small town that still has a fair amount of amenities. Plus, if you like things like skiing or snowboarding, you're gonna find that Mount Bachelor is just a quick drive down south from Bend. In the summertime, you've got the Deschutes River, which means that you can go rafting, paddleboarding, or if you're like me, be lazy and just inner tube, where you sit your tookie down and just let the water float you down the river. Bend's popularity, it comes with a price. Like, literally, the cost of living and real estate in Bend, I mean, it's just fucking bonkers. Over the past few years that people have been discovering Bend, I just can't even fathom how expensive it is to live there now. But I get it, because a lot of people go to Bend for the lifestyle, because you're going to find a mix of great outdoor enthusiasts and people who are relocating from places like California, Seattle, and they just want to live closer to nature. So there's this great mix and community in Bend. I get it, but the price tag, it seems a bit high. Redmond is going to be a more affordable option and just 20 minutes north, and Redmond has actually been growing pretty darn quickly in a similar way to Bend, but it still is less expensive and it still has a slower pace of life. Then there's Sisters, Oregon, which is a small artsy town with a very Western feel and a very real sense of community. It's a great choice if you like the idea of living in a small town, but you still want easy access to places like Bend. Central Oregon is going to be ideal for people who prioritize being active and outdoor living, and they don't mind paying a bit more for a higher quality of life in a smaller town. But remember, peeps, it's a high desert climate, and you are going to have dry air and a lot of sun in the summertime paired with cold winters and snow. Usually a lot of snow. So for outdoor lovers who really like hiking or biking or winter sports, Central Oregon is going to be a dream. It is a beautiful part of Oregon that really has a great combination of community, nature, and just a lively lifestyle. But it is going to be a bit pricey. Last on our list is Eastern Oregon. Eastern Oregon is often like the least discussed part of the state, but it does have its own charm in its own unique way. This region includes towns like Pendleton, Baker City, and LeGrand, and the landscapes here, it's just like open skies and rural living. Eastern Oregon is a totally different world from the rest of the state. You've got massive rolling hills with sagebrush, and you've got mountains, but there are few people. So this is the least popular region with my clients because it is so dang isolated. But if you're looking for a place to get away from it all, you don't want to see people for days on end, then yeah, Eastern Oregon might be a great place for you. Pendleton is probably the best known town of Eastern Oregon, which is famous for the Pendleton Roundup. You've got Pendleton clothing, you've got Pendleton whiskey, which fun fact isn't even made in Pendleton anymore. But the Pendleton Roundup is actually one of the oldest rodeos in the country. Moving on from talking about rodeos, as fun as they are. Pendleton has a really cute Western feel, a lot of historic buildings, and a very tight-knit community. And it also comes with a slower pace of life. Baker City, another spot that's popular with people, is going to offer a more affordable and even quieter lifestyle. It has a historic downtown, cute, charming little local shops, and the Willamette Mountains are going to be nearby, which means that you've got mountainous activities if you want. Eastern Oregon's main draw is its natural beauty and its very slow, isolated pace of life. You're not going to find big cities or major shopping centers here, so it's really a place for people who are content with, self-sufficiency and, like I said, not seeing people for days. Housing prices are going to be more affordable though than the rest of Oregon, but you're also going to be further away from amenities that you might find in larger cities like robust healthcare, which is a huge one, shopping, groceries, stuff like that. This part of Oregon does experience really cold winters and hotter summers with more pronounced four-season climates. It's just more intense overall. So the snow in the wintertime can be really fucking beautiful, but it's also a challenge for people if you're not used to it. Eastern Oregon is really going to be perfect for people who value a lot of peace and the rural lifestyle, and you want to live in a community that really looks out for each other. So there you have it, the breakdown of all of Oregon's main regions and what they all have to offer. Oregon is an incredibly diverse state with a region that fits almost every single lifestyle. So if you're looking for ocean views or day drinking in the wine country or mountain adventures or just living without people for days on end, you're going to find an area of Oregon that fits you. And if you need a little bit of guidance, you're like, oh my God, where should I move in Oregon? Make sure you book that one-on-one consultation with me so you can tell me the lifestyle you're going for, and then I can point you in the right direction and we can start planning your Oregon relocation. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to watch this one next. Bye, friends!